what's up? It's Sean Baligian.
What up? This is Joy Bell here on the Baligian and Bell Show.
Make sure you check us out on the Woodward Sports Network.
Yo, what's going on? This is the Woodward Sports Network, and this is the Baligian and Bell Show. But they still are gone, and I'm still here. This is Kory Woods, and I'm here with... Wait a minute. You're not Scott Bischoff.
Not Scott Bischoff. What's up, Kory?
Oh, crap. I guess I'm supposed to be going on Spiro apps. I got like the tune-up with Adam.
You got to get a tune-up. Yeah, I'm going to warm you up for what Spiro's going to give
This is like the... you know, Art, what kind of fight would you describe this as? What kind of heavyweight fight would you describe this as right now?
You know, it's kind of like a Brock Lesnar versus a John Jones, I would say.
Ooh.
Except if Brock Lesnar
okay, who's
was
doing the steroids?
Definitely Adam. Yeah, definitely Adam. Adam's like the Lebanese Brock Lesnar.
The Lebanese Brock Lesnar, the next big thing.
I'll take it.
All right, here we go. All right, how you doing, Adam?
I'm good, man. How are you? How's everything?
Hey, I can't complain. I'm up here with you.
Man, I heard you talking mad shit on the morning show. So
you're the one to talk about somebody talking mad shit.
We got to go right into it.
Let's get right into it. UofM versus UCLA.
Yeah, disaster game.
Disaster game, to say the least. If you guys were under a rock, UofM laid an egg. 51-49 loss to UCLA. They not going to the Final Four, and it's all at the hands of Johnny Liu Kang Zhang. Zhang.
Mm-hmm.
He had a hell of a game, 28 points. I believe it was like 11 for 18 from the field. Scored 55% of UCLA's points. Now, during the play-in game for Michigan State and UCLA, I was on your head. Like, Spartans not going to lose to UCLA, and you saw something in them. Mm-hmm. What you saw when they beat Michigan State, did you see that same thing in them last night in the victory, I should say, against the Wolverines?
Not necessarily. I think the loss to the win over Michigan was much different than the win over Michigan State. Michigan State, over the course of the season, proved they could lose to bad teams. Not that UCLA was necessarily a bad team, but they weren't a team that you were going to lock in for your Final Four. They weren't really in that conversation. And there's a reason they played a play-in game. So the loss to Michigan State, or the win over Michigan State, there's no real contrast for me between the Michigan and Michigan State game. I think just the Michigan game, Juwan Howard was exposed as a young coach, an inexperienced coach. He couldn't buy his team a basket with play calls coming out of the timeouts, and ultimately they only lost by a bucket or two, and they win the game. So it's disappointing.
It's definitely disappointing. I know we talked about yesterday when I was just like, hey, I felt like, they might kind of take the foot off the gas. And what I meant by that is, I'm not saying they're going to take the foot off the gas because, of course, it's the Elite Eight. Mm-hmm. You're going to the Final Four. My thing was, I felt with everybody just penciling them in the Final Four, I thought that was the perfect time for them to get shocked, because I thought they may not take the foot off the gas, but be looking past UCLA, like we're already there.
I didn't see it as Michigan was looking past UCLA, and that's why they lost. For me, the reason they lost is they couldn't get a bucket, and Livers not being there finally caught up with the team. Dickinson led the team with 11 points. 11 points in an Elite Eight matchup against not a strong UCLA defense. They're not a strong defensive team. Florida State would have given Michigan more problems, even Alabama if they had beaten UCLA. So it was Michigan played the perfect game to lose. Michigan played the perfect game to lose. UCLA is only the 5th 11 seed to ever make the Final Four, but all the 11 seeds have lost in the Final Four. So whether or not they beat Gonzaga is a different conversation, but I think Michigan played the exact way they should play if they wanted to lose, and they did.
If they beat Gonzaga, then we got some real discussion to talk about this UCLA team. Seriously.
It's historical if they do. They'll be the first 11 seed to ever make the national championship game.
Wow. What you got, Art?
Yeah, Easy brings up a great point comparing Michigan's loss and Michigan State's loss to UCLA. Easy says, I think it was different because State held a double-digit lead and blew it, to where Michigan, it was a much closer game.
What do you think? I mean, I'll be honest. The Michigan State game, whether it was because the halftime incident between Izzo and the player, it doesn't matter. Michigan State blew the lead, but they've proven they could do that. Michigan have done nothing but win all season, and they've proven that they could take on the big teams and the little teams. And in this situation, it's the Elite Eight, Franz Wagner, 1 of 10 from the field. Again, they played the game that they had to play to lose. UCLA could not have won that game any other way outside of what happened last night.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% right there. The Wagner thing, I know me and a couple of my friends are already just been arguing about it. Like, he's one of their best players. I mean, in that play, the way you want to draw that play up, you want to give it to him. But I'm of the mindset of this. It's not like the guy was streaky and you want to give it to your streaky player. Last night, he was just cold, straight up cold. Now, if you want to give it to him to get that first shot that he airballed, fine. All right, he airballed it, whatever. After that, I would not have put the ball in his hands again.
Again, this is where Juwan Howard failed his team.
Yeah.
He could not get his team an easy bucket. If you have one of your best scorers on the team struggling, you got to draw up a play that gets him an easy layup, a nice solo jump shot, anything mid-range that'll just give him confidence. And that did not happen all night. There was nothing scripted. It was like Juwan just sent his team out there, and he was like, figure it out, guys.
And the one thing that really kills me about people talking about last night's losses, they're saying, well, Michigan played great defense. They held them to 51 points. But Johnny Juzang, one man, took them out. It was a one-man wrecking crew.
Michigan didn't play great defense. I think both teams were poor on offense.
Yes,
both teams,
they were, oh my God. They both shot under 40%.
They couldn't find a bucket for their lives. I mean, and honestly, most of their looks were pretty open. Wagner's shot at the end was wide open, and he airballed it. So I don't think it was great defense. I just think both teams were very cold. Maybe they were succumbing to the pressure of the Elite Eight game. It was a close game all game. I don't know, but I wouldn't put that down to good defense. It was actually poor defense. It was just even more poor offense.
Oh, God, we're agreeing on this. What is going on? Is
it
getting hot here?
I mean, look, I'll disagree with you that Michigan was looking past. I know maybe in the media we tend to pencil in Michigan versus Gonzaga. It just makes sense. Michigan's going to beat the 11 seed. There's no way it happens. But that's why you play the games, and there's something about March Madness. These things happen.
What you got, Art?
Here, and I think it's pretty cool that the NCAA put an image together. Out of those 4 teams, who wins? Who wins it all?
Why is Gonzaga second? They should be poll favorite.
I don't know
That's
why.
what I'm
I don't know
taking
why
from the
Baylor is in front.
I'll tell you what. Gonzaga is the clear favorite. They have been all since the start of the tournament. They're 30-0. They're looking to be the first team since NC State to go the entire season undefeated and win the national championship. So history's on the line. There's still a lot to play for. I think if there's no more complete team than Gonzaga in the country. Not Baylor, not Michigan, even with Isaiah Livers. Nobody plays the brand of basketball that Gonzaga plays. They are too good. They're too dominant on both sides of the ball. And they're unselfish. Every person on that floor can kill you. UCLA needed magic from Juzang with 28 points. Gonzaga don't need that. They need 11 points from each, 1 through 5, and they're going to blow you out by 15.
That is an amazing point because I didn't watch, I'm just going to be upfront, I did not watch a lot of Gonzaga the whole year. I kind of caught on them real late. And when I was watching them, the one thing that I noticed was, to your point, it's not just Drew Timme out there by himself killing them. It's like a well-oiled machine. It's like the way they were just running the court. I was watching them last night, just watching like they're not a pro team, but they look like a pro team just off of how composed they are and how they run their sets and how they play on both sides of the court. They look like a team that plays winning basketball.
They play as a team.
Yeah.
USC is out because they don't play as a team. Michigan is out really because they kind of choked, and the coaching was an F- really for that
and that's
game.
what I'm trying to tell people. I don't understand how you can say that Juwan Howard, that was a badly coached game yesterday.
Yeah, well, Juwan Howard is such an interesting coach because I think when he was initially hired, there was a lot of backlash.
Yeah.
Inexperienced coach, taking over a very successful program at the time. They just come off a few Final Four appearances and national championship appearances. And why is this guy getting the chance? He obviously proved it this year. That
yes, he definitely did that.
He's more than capable of doing it, but now you see the flaws. And any inexperienced coach, it's not just Juwan Howard, is when your team needs a bucket, what player are you drawing up? And that's something like a Brad Stevens was always really good at in college. And a lot of these coaches, it comes with time. So everyone that wants to jump off the Juwan, that's fine. But I think it's a total overreaction. I think Michigan's floor right now needs to be the Elite Eight every tournament if possible and competing for the Big Ten. And if they make the Final Four, that's a successful season. When you make the Final Four, it's a successful season. Only one team wins. So everyone's going to go home unhappy at the end of the day except one team. And that one team this year looks like it's going to be Gonzaga.
I think the one thing that Michigan, first off, we understand Michigan fans. I'm a Michigan fan also as well. It hurts that they lost. It hurts. And the criticizing Juwan Howard hurts. But I think if you kind of like compartmentalize the criticism, you'll understand where we're coming from. He coached a bad game yesterday. That does not mean that he's a bad coach. This is his first NCAA tournament as coach, and he gets to the Elite Eight?
I think we've seen this before, though.
Yeah.
I don't think that was his first bad game. Ohio State was a bad game.
Definitely.
Illinois, earlier in the year, even though they won, was a bad game. Again, it's just the simple things, and it's those details, which is why Bill Belichick has 6 rings, and let's say coaches like a Kyle Shanahan losing a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There's a reason this guy wins so much is because the details are buttoned up. And with Juwan Howard, the details aren't buttoned up because when you come out of a TV timeout, you have a set play, you have a fallback play, and you got to get a bucket on that possession. If you don't, it's just demoralizing because you're in that huddle. You're like, this is the play we're going to run. You're going to get an open shot and you're going to sink it. And you're putting that confidence into your players. And then they go out, they either botch the play and they don't get a shot up, or they get a contested shot up, or they actually get the look and they miss it. And it's demoralizing all the way around. And again, I don't think Juwan Howard has done a good enough job with the team coming out of timeouts, and that's the reason they're out. It's so simple. And
that's something that he's going to have to go back and look, not at just last night's game, that Ohio State game, that Illinois game. He now has a whole couple of months, whatever, like 6-7 months, maybe even longer, to go back and look and see where they went wrong and how they can go ahead and
you need time to grow. You need time to grow. So
it was his growth. He got
not bad an Elite Eight in your first year.
Not bad
at all.
Not bad for Elite Eight in your first year. Michigan is going home, and it sucks to talk about it, but you know what really is on the bright side to talk about? The NFL is getting another game, and we're going to get into that in just one moment.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
Grow Green Michigan Milk, the world's largest family-owned indoor garden center, buys in bulk and passes their savings on to you, the growers. You can score insane deals like bags of Roots Original Soil for just $10 and gallons of Fox Farm Big Bloom for just $40. Grow Green has over 1,000 pallets of soil in stock from brands like ProMix, Fox Farm, Dairy Dew, Nectar for the Gods, and Because. Go where the pros actually go. Go to Grow Green M36 Whitmore Lake or online at growgreenmi.com. Mention Woodward Sports for a free t-shirt. Back to the Brock Lesnar and John Jones matchup here. Kory and Adam.
I love it. You guys are watching Woodward Sports Network. This is the Baligian and Bell Show. Kory Woods here with Adam Beydoun. I keep wanting to say your name wrong.
How?
I say Beydoun?
Yeah, it's right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say.
You know what? I get mad when people butcher my name, but I am the king of butchering names.
Oh, no, it's not a big deal, man.
And you guys see that dope shirt that he's wearing? We're going to be having that tomorrow during opening day. So if you're downtown, come bump into us. We may have one for you. We may not. We'll see. But on to football. NFL at a 17th game. Hopefully that does not mean that the Lions will be the first team to go over 17. We're not going to happen. But what do you think that means for the NFL? First off, as a fan of football, how do you feel about it?
Oh, I love it. As a fan of football, I love it. I think from the NFL standpoint, more money, more media coverage. It's an additional game, more paycheck for the players, although I still think they need to figure that situation out. Maybe a second bye week. I know there isn't one right now, so I don't know. We've never done this before. I know they took out a preseason game, but NFL regular season games are a different beast. So you're adding one more. Teams are generally limping into the playoffs already. So it's a bit of a risk, but the players signed up for it. So I'm not going to sit here and say anything about it. I'm all down for football. Maybe adds another week to fantasy football. I mean, I'm a happy guy.
That is the one thing that I maybe I need to talk to some more players to kind of understand this. How do you negotiate or have this stuff in your CBA, and then after, and you know it can potentially come, and then you get mad when it does?
Oh, well, the CBA is just a horrible union, just in general. It's horrible. It just takes money from the players. Usually 8 out of 10 times always sides with the NFL because they're there to make money, and that's just the way it goes. If they really had the players' interest at heart, we would have gone maybe another 2 seasons with a 16-game schedule and then had 2 years to adjust and be like, all right, this is what we need to do. We need to have a second bye week, or we need to take out 2 preseason games. I don't think there's enough data on any of that. Having said that, what more can you ask for as a player? You can't get frustrated when you're paying these people. You control them. You tell them, hey, this is what we want. And then they go up to bat for you. And if they come back with shit and you accept it, that's on you guys. So.
Yes, so if you guys didn't know, once again, this is the Baligian and Bell Show. Kory and Adam are filling in. We're talking about the NFL adding a 17th game to the season. This is the first time they have had a schedule change since 1978. Back then, it was a 14-game format.
Yes.
And then now they went ahead and switched to the 16-game format. And here's what Roger Goodell had to say about it. This is a monumental moment in NFL history. The CBA, with the players and their recently completed media agreements, provide the foundation for us to enhance the quality of the NFL experience for our fans. And one of the benefits of each team playing 17 regular season games is the ability for us to continue to grow our game around the world. And in that sense of an explanation, with the media deal and adding an extra game, I mean, it's not like he's lying. The NFL prints money, so adding this extra game, they're going to print even more money.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge deal, and eventually they'll expand the playoffs because it's more money. It's just the nature of business. So I'm not sure what players are complaining about. They signed up for this. They agreed to it with the CBA.
There's some players complaining. I'm going to let Art speak real quick on, but Alvin Kamara, he retweeted Adam Schefter and said...
Was Alvin Kamara in the meetings, though? Was he there, like, fighting for it? No, he let the dumbass guy go there and pitch it, and the NFL PA went there. They closed the deal, and I promise you, like, 80% of the players don't like it. And they probably got a few things that they really wanted done in that deal, but it was not worth a 17 game, if I was a player, in my opinion, because there's no structure to the salary cap. There's a slight boost, but I'm just getting an additional game check. That doesn't mean everybody's pay is technically rising. It's still the base pay. Yeah. So whatever I signed up for, I'm still getting that money. Cool, I get an additional check, whatever. But that doesn't mean I'm getting inflation because we're adding a 17th game and the NFL is making all this media money.
Right. What are you about to say, Art?
Yeah, out of this list right here, so they released the Week 17 games. Do any games stick out for you in particular? Obviously, the Lions facing the Broncos, but is there any matchups there that kind of excite you or even disappoint you?
The ones that excite me for sure has got to be Green Bay versus Kansas City. I think everybody wanted that to be the Super Bowl matchup this season.
Most definitely.
I think the second most intriguing matchup will actually be the Seattle Seahawks between the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the Seahawks will probably kill them. I expect the Steelers to have their first losing season under Mike Tomlin this year, so that'll be fun. And then, of course, the Lions. The Lions play the Broncos. It's a mystery still. We need to wait till the draft finishes to really evaluate what the Lions are going into the season.
I'm liking that Rams-Ravens game. I want to see how Mr. I guess the guys here want to call him number 9. I want to see how number 9 does against the Ravens to close out the season.
I have a philosophy on quarterbacks in the NFL, right? So I think there is a quarterback being drafted 3rd in the draft this year, and he will be the luckiest quarterback to be taken because he's going to go to John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. And Kyle Shanahan is going to take care of that quarterback, and he's going to build him into a winner. Now, we look at Trevor Lawrence, or probably Zach Wilson, who's going too. There's still so many question marks, but you got to trust the situation there. But my philosophy is a good head coach, and I mean a really good head coach, makes a quarterback 10 times better because he understands his quarterback. He puts them in situations to win. Stafford, I don't want to talk too much about him, but I think he will succeed under Sean McVay. And he has to, actually. I think he will. He has to. He's getting the best coach in his career. The best coach he's ever had. The best roster he's ever had. The best defense he's ever had. He has all the weapons. The running back, the young up-and-coming running back that can take the ball 20 times a game. There's no excuse for Stafford not to deliver the Rams what they want this season.
On top of that, they're not extending, just like Goff is not getting getting extension past for 2 years. Stafford's not getting an extension right now past for 2 years with the Rams. So he has a 2-year shot to make this work. And if this does not work, I don't think only Stafford's going to be out. McVay is going to be out.
GM's going to be out.
Snead's going to be out.
Yep,
they're going to clean that whole organization from top to bottom because you're going 7 straight years without a first-round pick, and you don't cash in on at least an appearance?
Well, they made 1 Super Bowl appearance. I think what's important.
They got to win one.
It's a reminder. It's a reminder, though, how difficult it is to get there, let alone to win a Super Bowl, right? So you look at the Rams and what they've built. 7 years without a first-round pick, but they've been competing in the playoffs, and they've been fighting for their division every year. So if it doesn't work out with Stafford, that's really a coach, a roster, and the quarterback conversation, right? If Stafford does work out, and our definition of workout is probably 2 back-to-back NFC championship appearances and 1 Super Bowl appearance. That's the definition of success for the Rams because of where they've been. I just don't think Stafford has proven that he can deliver that. But again, my philosophy, you put a good quarterback with a great head coach, that quarterback will become great. Jared Goff became great under Sean McVay. Jimmy Garoppolo, or whatever, became great under Kyle Shanahan. You see all of these quarterbacks flourishing with good to great head coaches. This is what you need. You need a head coach who understands your capabilities, your limitations, and they build a team around you and a playbook and a game plan around you that ultimately defines success for the team.
Hey, if you guys didn't know, we're just tuning in. We're talking about the NFL 17-game season. I want to get into some of the quotes from Alvin Kamara. He said, shit dumb as hell.
It's not. They agreed to it.
Retweeting Adam Schefter and Adrian Amos, the defensive back for the Green Bay Packers. He said, we really let this happen, facepalm. And that's the thing right there. You guys let it happen. You guys let it happen. So I don't understand the complaining after the fact. I do feel that they should be in my heart, I feel they should be compensated more because they're playing an extra game. But at the same time, you didn't negotiate it.
I think you need to look into opening a few roster spots, emergency roster spots, a larger practice squad, whatever it needs to be. But the 17th game generates so much revenue. So just because my base pay is going over into the next game, that's cool. But I'm not really seeing the increased revenue that the NFL is seeing as a player. So the deal really makes no sense to me as a player. They have every right to complain, but they really don't because they sent the NFLPA out, they negotiated, and they agreed to it, and they signed off on it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. I want to do the math. How much more?
A lot.
One game.
Too much. You're talking revenue inside of the stadium.
Yeah.
Commercial revenue, TV media rights, selling jerseys for an additional game. A lot of money. So
what are you expecting from this upcoming 17-game season, like as a fan and somebody who
I think you'll see resting more.
Resting more, okay.
I think coaches will be cautious. I think the really great teams maybe play 3 quarters in the first few games, and then they play a full season. A way to compensate the additional 4 quarters. So you got to rest your players 1 quarter per game until you reach 4 quarters, and it compensates for the additional game that you're going to play. That would be my strategy behind it. But then again, you don't want to affect on-field performance. You don't want to start the season 2-2. You don't want to start the season 1-3 and then have an uphill battle. But at the same time, you need to save the players' legs.
Hey,
it's a difficult conversation.
Couldn't agree with you more. And guess what? We got Scott Bischoff in the studio, and we're going to be talking about Devonta Smith and also got to talk about what Jamar Chase did this morning as well. So we'll be right back in just one moment.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand.
Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for watching the Woodward Sports Network. This is the Baligian and Bell Show. I am Kory Woods. And wait a minute. No, you're not Adam.
I'm Joik Bell for being on time.
Oh.
Just playing.
Ooh,
I know.
Damn, coming in hot. Scott Bischoff.
I am going to get slapped. The next time I see him, it'll be well-desered.
What's going on, man?
Not much. How are you?
I am doing great.
It's been a morning.
It's been a morning. We're going to get into some Devonta Smith, but before that, Ja'Marr Chase clocking an unofficial 4.38 in the 40. We were just talking about this guy yesterday. What do you think about that?
Well, we talked yesterday about how some of his true speed was hidden in his desire to be physical.
Yeah.
But I'd also tell you that the LSU there is a 0% chance the LSU 40-yard track is 40 yards long. It's historically been very fast. My guess is that, probably it'll be official. This is guessing. I'm speculating.
Okay.
It'll be over 4.4, and at the combine he'd have ran like a 4.5.
Yeah.
Maybe just under that, but either way, it's plenty fast enough. I mean, it is. I think he solidifies his position at the very top of the wide receiver class, and then it becomes, is his play style what you want out of a team? But I mean, you can't ask for much more. I mean, he verticaled 41, right?
I mean,
dude's a dog, and he's
a big play receiver.
He is. He's a contested catch guy. He can run routes and get open. He can beat you with physicality. He wants to run through you. He's great as a blocker. So with him, it's sometimes comps are just horrible, just because they never really work perfectly. But he does have some Steve Smith in his game. That physicality and that just get me the ball, we're good. So I think his workout sort of solidifies any concerns about anything.
Interesting you just mentioned that tidbit about the LSU track, because we just talked about Ja'Marr Chase running that 4.38. Racy McMath ran a 4.34.
What did Terrace Marshall run, the other receiver, who is super under the radar, and I don't know why?
Let me see if I can pull that up. I'll try to. Art, if you can whenever you get a chance, if you're able to look that up. What's
Terrace Marshall. He's been like super explosive for them for a couple years. He and Ja'Marr Chase pushed Justin Jefferson into the slot position. So that tells you a little bit about his game. Where Ja'Marr Chase was the X receiver, the guy who's going to get pressed and almost welcomes it. Terrace Marshall played the Z position, which is off the line of scrimmage, and it gives him a little more room, so he's not as physical as Chase is, but he's fast. He's explosive fast. And, he scored, I want to say he has double-digit touchdowns in each of the last 2 years.
Just pulled it up. He ran a 4.38 also.
Okay. Same thing. I mean, he's plenty fast enough, and I want to say he's 6'2" and maybe bigger and 215 pounds. He's a big receiver who can really move. So for those of you who are looking for a big receiver to somehow end up in the first round, there's a guy that could.
I mean, they CBS Sports, their draft rankings, they have him as the 65th best player in the draft, 9th best wide receiver.
So there's a company that advertises with us that's Grow Green, right?
Yeah.
There's some of that going on with that ranking. I'm just kidding. I think that's way too low for what he is as a player. Way too low.
Oh man,
I don't understand why he's so under the radar for what he is as a player. He's nowhere near as physical as Chase, but he moves. He's fluid. He's big. He makes big plays happen all the time. If you're in round 2. And you're looking for a bigger outside receiver, he is one of the targets.
I was just about to get to that. Let's say the Lion, with him being ranked so low, and you're high on him, and from what you're telling me, rightfully so, That seems like if the Lions decide to go defense, if they said to go defense, like grab like a Micah Parsons, that might be a guy they could potentially steal in the second round and solve that wide receiver problem.
So in a scenario, we really didn't get into this yesterday, but in a scenario where the Lions do trade down,
yeah,
and it allows them to go Kwity Paye or a defensive player, Terrace Marshall in round 2 would be a home run type.
Steal, a home run.
Yeah, because he affords you the ability to line up out wide, right?
Okay.
And he's fast, he's quick, he runs good routes, he scores, he does all the things that you want a receiver to do, and you're getting him in round 2. And it's kind of, I mean, there's, is he an elite Jamar Chase type? No, but I mean, he's good enough, and he's productive enough, fast enough, does everything good enough that in round 2 he would be he'd be a solid option, something that Lions fans should be super interested in.
Hey, I just pulled up some stuff on him. The guy looks like he could be potentially great. 6'3", 200 pounds last year. Had 48 receptions for 731 yards, 10 touchdowns. Average 15.2.
What did he do? I feel like I'm your dad telling you to do things. What did he do in 2019? I should know this. But 2019, I'd be curious because that's the
2019, a step below that.
Yep.
He had 670, it's pretty much, basically really a step below. 46 receptions for 671, 13 touchdowns. So he did improve. The ceiling is getting up there.
And that's with Chase,
Burrow,
and Justin Jefferson.
Oh yeah,
and that
Jefferson
offense
too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know why, but he is being slept on. Maybe that changes after he runs what he did today.
I hope, for the Lions' sake, if they go defense, he stays slept on, because that will be a great guy to replace Kenny Galladay moving forward.
Yeah, and he'd be fine with Goff because he does separate, does get open. He's a little faster than what Galladay was.
Okay.
I mean, I think he fits more with what you're looking for Jared Goff. It's I don't know that he's going to replace Galladay in terms of being the outside guy getting cornerback 1 coverage, but currently I don't know who that is in Detroit. So I mean, he could. You might be right.
I think the number 1 receiver position in Detroit right now is like still a big ass question mark.
Vacancy.
It's null and void. Like whoever they line up out there, I honestly think they might be looking for that number 1 guy in this draft. So I'm still of the mindset they're going to go either Jamar Chase or I'm hoping it would be either. I'm of the mindset they're going to go Jamar Chase or Kyle Pitts, but I'm hoping it would be Kyle Pitts or Jalen Waddle. That's what I want. But
yeah. I mean, and those are two of the more dynamic options in this draft. If the Lions decide that they're going to gamble a little on Devonta Smith, I think he fits perfectly well with Goff too.
And it'd be great segue right there, because we're going to talk about Devonta Smith, and his frame has been a very big topic. He's listed at 6'1", 175. To me, he looks like he's probably about 5'11", 170.
If I were to guess, I would tell you he played in the 160s.
Yeah. Well,
but,
even that.
Yeah. But when are we going to break?
No, we're not going to break.
We'll keep rolling. He doesn't play small like that. So it's
big.
like there's cognitive dissonance with him, where it's like when you look at him later today. Just Google him. How do I put this without sounding really strange? Google him with his pads off, and then delete your browser history type stuff. But he does look like drive down the road to whatever high school you can find and look at a point guard at the high school level, and that's what he looks like frame-wise. Super small, slender. He's linear. He's taller for such a lightweight player, but he doesn't. It's not like he goes down easy with contact. He falls forward. He doesn't play small. I mean, it's never really been an issue. He doesn't miss a lot of time. There is something with him where his frame has not limited him even in the least at Alabama, playing in probably the best conference in college football. So you got to hand it to him there. But are you going to take the chance on him when the odds, of a player being that small with such a low body mass, with such low density? Are you going to take the chance on taking him where you'd have to take him for him to work out long term? And to me, there's a touch of a gamble with that. But incredible route runner, does it all. Is just the sneakiest, most slithery player. There are times where it's like, how do you do that?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you get open there? That kind of stuff. But if the Lions decide he's their guy, I get it with Goff. Goff needs to see things before he'll throw it. Smith is that guy.
Well, guys like me, I've been going ahead and just crapping on Devonta Smith's frame. I'm just of the mindset that the guy is just for – can he play? Duh. He's a dog. Duh, he can play. But for what I envision of this Dan Campbell type team, I don't know if he fits that mold because of his frame. But, hey, there's a guy who has forgotten more football than I know, and his name is Chad Johnson. And Chad Johnson has some interesting words to say about Devonta Smith and his frame. He actually defended him. He said, I played at 170 pounds, and he's better than I was in college. And,
we cannot knock him as a prospect as far as his production at Alabama. We just can't. We're not going to. It's more about how does that translate into the NFL, where everything around you is bigger and faster. You know what I mean? So that's the concern, and that's the issue is at 170 pounds, can he survive?
And real quick, guys, I got some breaking news. I'm going to go back to football. You know what? I'm going to come back with the breaking news in just 1 second. I'm going to tease it. We'll be back in a moment.
Welcome to Crumble Cookies. It is Joey from Woodward Sports, and this is my new favorite spot where I like to spend my time because they have the best cookies I've ever had in my entire life, and you won't regret coming here and trying them. Located off of Rochester Road, right next to the Imagine Theaters in Rochester Hills, it's Crumble Cookies. Come try these delicious cookies. They even got their own app. They got curbside pickup. They got delivery. You won't regret it. Just come try for yourself. You'll thank me later. I promise.
All right, well, if your bracket is completely busted, well, don't worry. You're not alone, and they're never busted when you bet with MyBookie. They have all the games that you could bet. Whether you want to do parlays, straight, against the spread, there are thousands of lines and prop bets on all the games. Do yourself a favor. Get yourself a head start by signing up today with the promo code Woodward. That's Woodward, all one word. And they're going to match your first deposit halfway up to $1,000. That's free cash credited to your account instantly on top of your deposit. The best part is you'll always have access to the game, whether you're at home, on the go. Visit the website online, mybookie.ag. Use the promo code Woodward to grab yourself a deposit bonus. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Back to you, Kory.
Welcome back to the Woodward Sports Network. This is the Baligian and Bell Show. Corey Woods here with Scott Bischoff. And like I said, I have some breaking news. Shams Charania of Stadium is reporting that I almost said the wrong name. I was thinking LaMarcus and DeMarcus. My bad, y'all. DeMarcus Cousins is planning to sign with the Los Angeles Clippers. It's going to be a 10-day contract. And Boogie, they need a big. If he can stay healthy, it'll be a nice move for him. But yeah, that's
10 days, huh?
10-day deal. See how it works out. If it works out good, sign him to another 10-day deal. I think you can't do more than 2 10-day deals. Then after that, you got to, sign him for the rest of the season and let him go. So Boogie Cousins to the Los Angeles Clippers. But something else just came out, which is related to what we're talking about, and the guy that we're both fond of. Field Yates is reporting Florida tight end Kyle Pitts clocked an unofficial 4.40.
Gasp and swoon. Oh, boy. But yeah, I'm not surprised.
6'6", 245, and a 4.4?
We have talked. I want to pound the table right now. We have talked for a while about comparing him to Mike Evans and Julio Jones. I should look at the camera when I do this. So it's legit. I mean, that is not hyperbolic at all. I mean, there is a hybrid Mike Evans, Julio Jones, Calvin feel to his game. Now, I know in Detroit that's sacrilegious to say that, but when you're 6'5.5", I think he was 6'5 and 5/8, and 245 pounds, and in running 4.4, I don't know, guys. I mean, I don't know.
No.
I know how
Scott,
I feel about him, but I'm trying to pull
cut.
it together. I don't want to embarrass myself.
With all due respect, let's just cut the shit because we know we agree. If Kyle Pitts is there, take him.
Yeah.
It's just some things that when you look at a guy, you're watching the tape and you're like, damn, he has it. Whatever it is, he has it and then some.
He does. So he runs 4.4 at his pro day. And I think if we want to be conservative and be realistic about what his time really is, I think it's conservative and reasonable to say that he would have been 4.5 at the combine. And tight ends, I think Noah Fant ran 4.5. I think he did.
Okay.
But the difference in play style and the difference in what those guys do, where they line up, how they win, where they win, who they won against, is night and day. So when you look at Kyle Pitts against Alabama, against Patrick Surtain, or against J.C. Horn against South Carolina, and you see him, here we go, you see him one-on-one beat those guys, and those guys really struggle to stay with him. I don't know that there's really all that much to see. I mean, it's not like projecting. Like as an example, we'd be talking about Parsons as a linebacker and saying he's best served coming off the edge as a pass rusher. Do we have a lot of that? Do we know that he can do that kind of stuff? Not really.
Yeah.
We don't. We've seen a little bit of it. We know what Pitts can do against these elite guys who are going to be top 15, top 20 picks. He is a franchise-altering player. He is.
Yeah, I agree with you. What you got, Art?
You mentioned the Calvin Johnson comparison, and in that first catch, with against Alabama, you could see it. That jumping above and getting it. Do you think can Goff work with someone like that? Because again, we mentioned this yesterday with the Stafford Johnson comparison. Could this be a Pitts Goff comparison that we could look forward to in 2021?
I hope so, and I hope that. So, I trust this group of coaches and decision makers to be able to understand nuance and subtlety and those kind of things. If Goff needs to see a receiver open before he'll throw the ball, all you have to do is coach him into the idea that if we throw it a little high, not over the middle, but more on the boundary, out of the slot, that he is open. Even if there's coverage on him. I mean, we all remember the Calvin double, triple teamed in the end zone thing where he goes up and it's jump ball city, and that's Pitts.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, if Goff can understand that if I throw the ball up, he's open. There's where he fits.
I think if you're going Jamar Chase or Kyle Pitts, I don't think you can really go wrong with there, even with Jalen Waddle. I just think that if you are really going to invest in Jared Goff, you have to give him somebody who was an ultimate weapon. I think as great as a receiver as Jamar Chase can be, I think that Kyle Pitts is that ultimate weapon where Goff can just have fun with him. Do whatever you need to do with them. He can be that. They can build that chemistry. And also, too, Goff is coming in with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
You know he's going to build a bond with that guy quickly.
I would hope so. And it's, he runs really good routes too. So it's not just that you need to throw it high. It's more that on the boundary, if you put the ball up, he will come down with it. You know what I mean? He's special in that
all
way.
All you got to do is just Goff is going to have to trust him to go make a play.
Yes. But and understanding that it's to make a play means throw the ball high and away from coverage, and Pitts is good enough with his body, and he has huge hands, long arms, a giant wingspan, all of those things where you would say there's just no way that somebody who's on his back hip can get to the ball. They just can't. So I don't think it's asking too much of any quarterback to understand that This guy's open when it feels like he's covered. He's open.
Yeah. What you got, Art?
Yeah, Scott, how are you feeling when it comes to taking some heat? Maybe are you feeling like, I know it's Wednesday and it's supposed to be halfway through you've got some hate here, and I want to read the comment from Angry Rams fan who says Bischoff probably hasn't watched 5 Goff games to say Stafford is better, or that a wideout has to be wide open for Goff to throw the ball. Get the F out of here. I've watched at least 60 Goff games in the NFL, and more, including college Goff, can make all the throws. Your thoughts on that?
Okay. So if Rams fan wants to do a little homework, after you see Stafford play a few games and you see him put the ball into places that Goff would not, that's what I'm talking about. It's that Goff needs to trust his receivers to get open. Mm-hmm. Stafford will give receivers a chance, and he can do that because he has the arm strength to put the ball in super tight windows where Goff won't make those decisions. He just doesn't, because he needs to see it first. That's all I'm saying.
Or Angry Rams fan, also stated that Goff has always been known to be super accurate.
He is accurate. I'm talking more like in the decision-making to throw the ball. There are times when he won't throw it.
I get the feeling when I watch Goff, Goff is a good quarterback.
I loved Goff coming out of Cal.
Yeah.
I take that.
I get the sense of watching Goff is that he tries to play within himself and not really take too many chances. It's kind of like he's a step above a total game manager.
Yeah, and some of that has to do with McVay, right? And the pressure that we've read over the last few months of the kind of pressure that was being put on him to not turn over the ball. There's some of that, all right, I'm not going to put the ball into any dangerous situations because I don't want to hear it from my coach.
Yeah.
I don't want to get crushed in the meeting room because I put a ball, I had to make a tight window throw, and I made that choice, and it's an incomplete pass, and and now it's 4th down when I could have thrown maybe to the tight end and got a 1st down. So there's some of that. It's the decision making not to take chances with the football, where we've seen Stafford enough to know that Stafford will take chances with the ball, and he'll put it into dangerous areas for those guys to have an opportunity to make a play.
Yeah, looking at some of the comments right here, we got Steve asking, is Pitts a first ballot Hall of Famer? I don't know if I want to. I don't like to. You can't say nobody's a first ballot Hall of Famer right before he.
Ask us again in 10 years.
Yeah, we can't say that, but I think it's safe to say that he is one of the premier tight end prospects in the past decade.
Oh, absolutely, and he is in this particular draft. He is amongst the elite guys who have a chance to change a franchise. He is amongst the very few. If you take out quarterbacks, he might be among 1 or 2 guys.
Yeah,
who are franchise-altering players. He may be, and that's why we're pounding the table for a player like him. It's also a little bit of what we talked about, the 12 personnel stuff, where it's a running back and 2 tight ends, and the versatility of the things that he can do and what he would do for this offense. The way he could take it from what it is right now, and they could expand on a variety of things to make them more dangerous. We all want Goff to work.
We need Goff. Lions fans, here's the whole thing, and I think we talked about this yesterday. I understand Goff isn't Stafford. That can really be a good thing. You need Goff to succeed. You want Goff to succeed. If Goff succeeds, this retool, restore, rebuild, whatever you want to call it, it gets better. Here we go. We got the Kyle Pitts unofficial 40.
Get out your phone.
I mean, look, we were impressed. Art, you got to play that. Yeah, just let that play back a couple times. We were impressed this morning with the size of Justin Fields running at you. Who the hell wants to tackle that?
I mean, there's not a lot of dudes who are going to catch that.
No.
And when they do, they're going to catch a stiff arm. He's tough to bring down. He's. Third time's a charm.
Yeah.
Third time's a charm.
I got you.
Look at this. I have to beat this. I do not want this guy running at me.
No. To the people thinking I'm ripping on Goff, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. I want Goff to work. I think Goff can work. I'm intrigued to see what Goff looks like away from McVay. I think we'll see a very different player.
Yeah,
I do.
With watching that footage and watching, Pitts do his thing right here, how accurate is that compared to on the field in the NFL under pressure? Like running a 4.44 is beautiful, but how accurate is that compared to in-game play? Obviously,
I think his I think his in-game speed, from what I've watched, pretty damn fast.
Oh yeah.
He has his game speed is amazing.
And so I mean the 40 is not like a perfect measure for football speed. It's just not. You can be football fast and run a relatively slow. A perfect player for this comparison is Anquan Boldin.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody ever think he was slow? Ever?
No.
He didn't run fast.
Anquan Boldin. Every time I say that name, I know he was a Lion later in his career, but I just think back to that first game
against the Lions.
His first game.
Did anybody think he was slow?
No.
It's football fast.
Football fast.
Some of it's not necessarily running 40 yards in a straight line. It's in your route running, and it's your ability to separate from defenders and then unlock that speed, right? I mean, you can see with Pitts, you can see him catch passes and run away from defenders, like safeties and corners, guys who are are 4 or 5 guys. You can see it. So does that move the needle for me? Not so much. It doesn't, but it's good. I guess it's good confirmation to see a guy that big run that fast. It is.
And you guys are here with me, Kory Woods, Scott Bischoff, and you know what? I got to talk to Adam about this earlier, and I want to get your thoughts on it. We're going to go ahead and go back to that 17-game NFL season. I want to get a couple of your thoughts, and we'll be right back in just 1 second.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys. And ladies, this is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking thorough good boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
What's going on? It's Artemis here. I say Artemis. That's so weird. Why did I say Artemis?
Because you're Artemis.
I know, I hate it. Hall Financial interest rates have started to fluctuate. So now is the time. I'm getting like Vietnam flashbacks to call Hall Financial. You don't know what is going to happen. So be smart. Make the call now while rates are low, because you could be saving a lot of money. Hall Financial is fast. They do all the heavy lifting for you. So go to davidhallmortgage.com now to get started. Hall Financial, lower payments, better options, more personal attention. I think it's like Joik. I think he's like the ghost of Joik has entered the room, and I called myself Artemis. Disgusting.
You guys are watching the Woodward Sports Network. This is the Baligian and Bell Show. Kory Woods here with Scott Bischoff. I actually have to interview another Bischoff coming up, Eric Bischoff, who's going to the WWE Hall of Fame.
Why are you doing that?
I'm supposed to be doing. You know what? I gotta call him back.
He's my cousin.
Yeah, I heard.
It's crazy.
Because I didn't, as all the wrestling fans call him, I did not even know Eazy-E was from the East Side.
He is, yeah. I think he moved away when he was like 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's going to the WWE Hall of Fame. He was actually the first. He was the inaugural guest on the show. I'll do Everything Is with my friend Ant, and yeah, I gotta hit it. He said I can get him get on for another interview before he does his Hall of Fame induction. I think it's gonna be virtual this year.
Very cool.
Very cool. But let's like I said, I want to talk to you about the 17-game season. Adam shared his thoughts about it. I shared my thoughts. I said, of course, it's going to be a huge money grab for the NFL. What do you think about the 17-game season? At first, as a fan, and just as somebody who watches the gaming.
I think we've seen it coming for a while. There was discussion about moving to 18 games, and I think the NFLPA was just like, no, we're not going there. But so one of the things I think that is in play here is that players understand that adding one game at the end of the season is not like adding one game at the beginning of the season. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of the injuries that they deal with and how physical the game is for them to get to week 17 through 16 games, right? There's almost like it's exponential, the amount of abuse that your body takes. And then to ask one more game above and beyond, I would imagine for some players feels like, no, we don't want to do that. And if we do want to do that, we want to be compensated really well for that game. And they allowed themselves to be put in a situation where they're now forced to play 17 games. And I don't know the politics involved in how that all played out. I don't know. I know they're being compensated. I don't know exactly what any of that is. So I don't, it's probably smart not to talk about things that I don't know so much about.
I will say from the things that I've read when the NFL and then the players went into the new CBA, there was like I don't want to call it a loophole, but like something in the deal where once the NFL renegotiated the media deal,
the TV deals,
the TV deals, it opened up the window to go ahead and add that 17th game. Now the NFL went ahead and got that deal done with the huge media deal, which means more football on many different platforms. That opened the window for the 17 games, and they did it. I agree with what Adam said earlier, and I want to get your thoughts on this. 17 games, cool. I'm not going to complain. More football, more work for us, more fun. But I agree with him on the sense that doing it so immediately, so abrupt, wrong move. Should have maybe waited about a season or two to go ahead and get that rolling.
But it's been talked about for a few seasons, so it's not like this is something that's shocking, right? This isn't something that takes anybody by surprise. It's just, strike while the iron is hot, and it's hot. The TV deal is a big thing. I mean, it's a huge deal.
If you guys don't know, this is the first time that the NFL has changed its schedule since 1978. Damn. What you got, Art?
Yeah, Scott, I asked Adam this earlier. Out of this schedule right here for Week 17, if you want to look at the screen, what matchups intrigue you the most? I mean, obviously the Lions are facing the Broncos, but is there any matchups on that list that kind of like catch your attention?
Seattle and Pittsburgh will be interesting.
That's exactly what Adam said.
Yeah, the Rams and the Ravens will be interesting. The Cardinals and the Browns.
That's what I said. Mm-hmm. Rams and Ravens.
And I'm talking like playoff interesting. Tampa Bay, Indy. Potentially New Orleans and Tennessee. I don't know, but we'll see on that one. Let's see. The Packers and the Chiefs. Ooh. To me, it's tough to see any NFC North team really getting up to Green Bay at any point. But now I say this all, that those matchups will be interesting, but I think if we kind of read the tea leaves as to what NFL teams have done, a lot of starters won't be playing in those games.
Oh, no.
That's another reason that we'll see some resting happening towards the end of the season, is that the teams that do really well at the beginning of the season are going to rest. They're going to rest players in week, 16, 17. Where I am assuming we're still going to have one bye week. So 18-week season, there's going to be a lot of rest happening those last few weeks when there's not much to play for.
The one thing that I loved about the announcements yesterday was not what the players said, not the news of the 17-game season. It was more Jeff Fisher shade. Did you see this meme they had? There was a meme that said that nobody can officially go 7-9 now, and it had Jeff Fisher's face on there, and I just thought that was the epitome.
That's pretty good.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Jeff Fisher. I don't know how he coached for so long. He
is the definition of a guy that if you could put somebody's face in the dictionary, thesaurus, whatever, of who does not deserve another job, that guy should be right there. I have no idea how he kept getting work. He must have photos on somebody.
I don't know either. And people have likened Marvin Lewis to Jeff Fisher, but the difference in the places they coach is palpable. Marvin Lewis didn't have a ton to work with as far as spending money and free agency and that kind of stuff, and he put the Bengals in playoff situations, frequently. Mm-hmm. He is a much better coach than is credited for, and I would expect him. I would hope that he gets another opportunity. But Fisher is just, I mean, that's just as like, yeah, I guess we'll be 7-9 or 8-8, and that's purgatory, right? I mean, you're not winning, but you're not losing enough to help yourself in the draft so much. So yeah.
I got more breaking news. Okay, this is not really breaking news. I mean, it is news, but there is rarely we talk about Michigan State when it comes to football. We rarely have any Eastern Michigan news. So I'm going to take my moment to talk about my Eagles. And NFL Network is reporting that former Eastern Michigan wide receiver Matthew Sexton is signing with the Steelers after a blazing low 4.3 40 at the Michigan State Pro Day last week. He was undrafted in 2020. Sexton flashed return skills in the spring league with the Bills and the Patriots. They worked him out, but he's headed to Pittsburgh. And I'm going to be honest, I love the Eagles. Thought he was decent in college. But just the fact I get to say Eastern Michigan football player signing somewhere just warms my heart.
4.3, huh?
Yeah.
That's fast.
That's fast.
Yeah, that is fast.
To say the least. So back to this the 17-game season. Lions and Broncos. That's going to be for the Lions. For Lions fans who did not know, of course, we got to talk about the Lions. The Lions in their Week 17 game, they are going to be traveling to Denver to face the Broncos, and can't really say too much about what that means because, for one, free agency still going on. The draft hasn't happened yet, so a lot of variables got to go in before we can really talk about that. So just want to throw that news out there. So.
Man, both teams are interesting, though. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Goff in this offense. But in Denver, what happens with pick 9? Do they look to grab quarterback and challenge Drew Lock? I don't know. I mean, at this point, I would think that would be the smart play.
Most definitely, yeah.
To at least challenge him and hey, you gotta win this job kind of thing. Pretty explosive offense. Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick, Noah Fant, KJ Hamler. If Locke can get things going, that'll be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, it will be. But, we talked about the Week 17, the extra game being added. Just so people know, this was during the NFL's annual league meetings. They did it virtually, but there was something else they talked about at the league meetings that I want to get your thoughts on and something that I want to talk about. We're going to get right into that in just one moment.
You don't fumble the ball at work. Hey, Joy Bell, Sean Baligian. See you guys next weekend.
Thanks, mate.
Oh, Bell's soft. Wait till it comes to New Zealand. Sort that out.
Start a new career in an industry that is always essential. Talking about the heating and cooling industry. Learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu. Back to Scott Bischoff and Kory Woods on the Baligian and Bell Show.
Yo, you heard it from Artemis.
Artemis Prime?
You said it. You
PTSD.
You opened up the door. You opened up the door, and I had to walk right through it. So me and my man Scott Bischoff are up here talking about these, the Week 17 game. But like I said, there was something else that was talked about, the league annual meetings. And I can't front. When I read it, I was mixed. At first, I'm like, okay, we're getting a step back to some normalcy. The other thing was I started getting the heebie-jeebies. And what I'm talking about is NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said that he expects full stadiums, not for the 2022 season, not for the 2023 season, this upcoming 2021 season. And that blew my mind.
Yeah. That's something.
That's something.
How is that going to work?
I'm just going to read this quote from him. All of us in the NFL want to see every one of our fans back. Football is simply not the same without fans, and we expect to have full stadiums in the upcoming season. I first off have to, before I get to you, I want to get my thoughts off on this.
Fish has something to say.
First off,
To the
I am
aquarium.
the least important person in the room
I'm sorry.
when Fish has to talk. Fish!
I'm assuming it's going to be city by city.
Yeah.
So some cities will choose to do 100s, like Detroit will not choose to be 100%.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Roger Goodell is going to. I'm going to shut up and let you say what you were going to say. How about that?
Oh, I'm just. First off, I like it because I feel that I like the idea of full stadiums when you hear about like, man, we're one step closer to back to normalcy.
Oh, it's a wonderful thought.
It's a wonderful thought.
It's a thought. The
That's the only
expectation
thing that's
is beautiful
wonderful about it.
I have lots of expectations, but they are not getting met.
I expect to wake up and become a millionaire tomorrow. That doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Yeah.
The idea of going back to full stadiums when everybody's not going to be vaccinated, there's still too many questions about the vaccination. Cities are going to have different regulations. So cities and states are going to have different regulations. And I just also wonder how in the hell you're going to police that many people to keep a damn mask on.
I don't know.
I have worries about it right now.
I think it's totally possible, though, considering, and Ryan on YouTube brings up a good point, over 1/3 of the U.S. is already vaccinated. Over 2/3 of the U.S. population will be vaccinated by May. So I think it's totally possible. The thing that concerns me is the variant strains. You know, the fact that we could all be vaccinated for one specific strain, then next thing you know, there's 2-3 different ones to worry about.
Yeah, but I mean, if you show up at a stadium, how are you proving? I mean, do you have to? This is a nuts concept, but I mean, do you have to bring paperwork to? Do you have to email it before you get tickets?
I have no idea
it's
how
crazy
this works because it's like the strain. To Art's point, this thing is mutating by the second.
From what I've heard, though, from the rumors, and this is just a rumor, is that we're all going to have to carry around our cards. They're going to have to be laminated, and we'll have to present them going into concerts, going into football games, basketball games, whatever the case may be, almost as if we're like carrying around a new Social Security card to prove our identity that we got the vaccine.
And that's cool. I just feel like there's going to be, as hesitant as people have been to get vaccinated, I can't see how that goes well.
I really don't either.
Showing your papers.
That's
not great. You know, it's just.
I don't want to.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get it.
You touched the spot when you said show us your papers.
But here's the thing, though.
I know, because I'm not going to say what I think about when I hear showing your papers, but if you know your history, you know what I'm referencing when you're saying show your papers.
Yeah.
But the same people that said, if you don't want to go outside, don't go outside, and I was one of those people. You could also say, well, if you don't want to go outside, then just don't get vaccinated. But that's such a different argument. Like, there's a difference between wearing a mask and having the government inject you with a vaccine, you know?
Yeah, it is. It's just, again, we're back to the word expect.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unreasonable to think that that's realistic with our current situation. That's where I am with it. It's just an opinion. You know.
I'm totally with you. I'm just looking over here and some more. It says from this article, it says attendance for NFL attendance dipped more than 90%. Well, of course, compared to 2019, and a total of 1.2 million fans were included in the attendance counts for the entire regular season and postseason. League revenues fell accordingly. So, I mean, of course, we've all never seen anything like this in our lifetime. So, of course, we're going to expect these numbers to dip. I just think that rushing back to have full stadiums is going to really kick this thing right back up into full swing. And then you're going to have another epidemic.
We do have multiple months to get into a situation where things are different. So let's hope. It's just, the expectation is what it is. It's just, of course they want it. They want to have full stadiums. That means revenue's back and everything's good and there's normalcy and the salary cap will go up in 2 years kind of thing. It's just given what it looks like right now, it feels. I don't know if you feel this way, but it feels like that's a touch on the reckless side of overeager. Like let's get it going.
I just went to the LCA a few days ago, and for the Little Caesars Arena for the what game was that? It was a Pistons game. I want to say it was Pistons Raptors. I could be wrong. To the point, everybody had digital tickets, their phones. Just scan the barcode. Nobody. It was no such thing as a paper ticket. That right there. I'm of the mindset that they're gonna probably have some type of digital component when it comes to, showing that you've been checked for COVID. I don't see how you can get that many people to keep up with the card.
Think about the lines to get into the stadium. I mean, they're already long.
And then what you gonna do about the little kids? You're gonna have to bring the kids' vaccination card too. I'm trying to figure out how far does this go, and I just think that right now they're gonna set themselves up for catastrophe if they try to go ahead and make people show a vaccination card when they pull up to the games, because you're asking people to keep up with another piece of documentation.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one way where I think it's reasonable, and it's, are you talking about season ticket only, season ticket holders only type scenario, where maybe you're reducing the price to the point where you can sell out and you can have a full stadium, but the agreement to become a season ticket holder, it means you must show that you've been vaccinated, and people, if they want to become season ticket holders, might do that. That's something that might be in the works. I don't know.
That right there, that is actually a good idea. If there was the route that they were going to go, it seems plausible. Like, okay, season ticket holders, we got to see it. We got to see that you've been vaccinated. Once we confirm that you've been vaccinated, then you're either allowed to come into the stadiums, or if you're trying to purchase season tickets, then once we can verify that you've been vaccinated, we'll allow your purchase of the tickets to go through. So that would be a very.
We have time to resolve some of these things. There are avenues. It's just it's going to be curious and confusing at times. In the end, I'm sure it'll resolve itself. It's just, given our current situation, it seems reckless, but we do have 5 months to figure some of this stuff out.
Do you see yourself being at any of these games this upcoming season?
Yeah, I do. But again, that's kind of a rosy outlook. We'll see. I mean, right now, would I go down to a theater downtown to see a concert? I probably would have, as much as I would want to, I probably would have to think long and hard about that. But, I'm coming at it from a different perspective, and I understand there are layers to the way we think about things. I lost my father-in-law in April last year to this. Thank you. And it was, it was an agonizing thing, though it was. Still haven't had a funeral for him. So obviously our family's perspective on it is different than somebody who might not have experienced some of that stuff. So I understand it's different. We all can think about things differently, and one of the reasons that we do the things we do and the choices we make and think about some of the things that the way we do is because of our past experiences. And the experience of losing him the way we did has been brutal, and I wouldn't want it for anybody else. But that's just my experience and my opinion on it. I respect that there are other ways to think about these things, because other people do think about it differently. I get it. I totally do. It's just, I don't know why I'm rambling on about this, but
no,
it's just we have time to figure some of these things out, and I hope that they do think about it thoughtfully and not just let's fill stadiums full of people.
Yeah, because I'm a fan, and for outside of just being a fan of sports, I love what I do. Outside of just, writing about games, I like being on the court and at Pistons games, even when they're getting their teeth kicked in.
It is still incredible to be there.
Capturing photos.
Yeah.
I like being on the sidelines at Ford Field or at the Big House capturing photos. As a game photographer, I love doing that. But I personally, I would be apprehensive to return to a stadium with full fans.
Right now, yeah.
Limited fans, sure. Like how Comerica Park, they're doing the 8,000, great. I'm totally fine with that. But during the full fans, if I had to go to it, they say, hey, we're allowing you in. 63,000 at Ford Field. I'm letting you know right now. We have an account where we can. We have a Getty's image account where we can go ahead and pull photos. I'm gonna be pulling them photos from my story.
They're gonna get worn out.
Ass nowhere near that. Screw
now. Imagine
that.
Imagine Ford Field being full and having to enforce mask wearing the right way. Can you imagine that? Like, no.
That is what I'm trying to figure out. But you know what? There are more changes that have happened at that annual league meeting besides the 17-game season and besides the whole full stadiums thing. And I want to get into some of those changes coming up in a moment.
I mean, we're inside Grow Green right now, and they have everything. I'm talking, you got your active air fans, you got your big lights over there, big pots, little pots, and Joey, what are you doing right now?
Get some sun.
That's not what those lights are for.
Feels nice.
Go to Grow Green MI today to get all your growing needs and a tan.
Welcome back. This is the Woodward Sports Network. This is the Baligian and Bell Show. Kory Woods, Scott Bischoff, just up here, just commandeering their show, talking about some football. And we're, the annual league meetings happen with the NFL. They happen virtually, and several rule changes at the same time we made
Damn
this
it,
morning.
Maz.
Round 2, fight. Wasn't me this time. I'm on this side.
You want me to fix that for you?
No, I'm all set now. Thank you.
So,
my blood pressure is a trillion.
During the league meetings, there are 4 potential rule changes that are going on. And just so you know, there are 32 NFL owners, if you guys did not know, 24 of them have to agree for the changes to effectively go through. And one of those changes is the roughing the passer. The rule change will be pretty simple. If there is a roughing the passer call, it will be reviewable.
I like that. I do.
I love it as well. The article that I'm reading right now from NOLA.com, it says, I'm going to just read this article verbatim. The last time the NFL made a penalty like this reviewable was in 2019 when the league adopted a rule change for one season in which pass interference was reviewable. It says Saints defenders were penalized 8 times for roughing the passer in 2020. The players call for roughing the passer, well, it just goes over the players call for roughing the passer. We don't need to get into them. Who cares about the Saints? But I like the rule. What do you got, Art?
Yeah, I just had a quick question. Does it seem like the NFL is getting really tight on that roughing the passer? Especially over the past couple of years, we've witnessed, plays where the quarterback's barely getting touched and it's roughing the passer.
Yeah, I mean, so you've got you can't touch him below his knees and you can't put your body weight onto the quarterback kind of thing. And it just feels like we already were in a situation where they were, almost putting pillows around quarterbacks and now making it even more so. I don't know how you're asking a defensive end or a blitz or whatever to tackle a quarterback and to do it right. You know what I mean? Like, you could wrap up, you could do everything the right way, and it's still a penalty. And I think the idea of reviewing some of these things where maybe the initial impact is just above the knee kind of thing. And I like the idea that teams won't get crushed for those kind of things where a defender makes a great play. I like that it's reviewable. I don't like that it takes time to do that. So I'm sure that there are things in place to expedite the review.
My line, I just had like a rush come over me. My Lions PTSD came in because when
does this involve the Packers? Oh boy, it does.
I don't know if it's was that the last season of the game? No, it was the Vikings.
Yeah, yeah. What happened?
With that roughing the passer call, I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. I was thinking about the Trey Flowers thing and all the drama with all that.
But no, I'm talking about that Lions game, that roughing the passer call was playing against the Vikings. I was at the game, and I'm like, it was they're
awful.
Not about to call roughing the passer, are they? Because I just know how weak the NFL is. on this. And I'm like, they're not going to call it. Maybe I'm just being too cynical.
You weren't.
Effing called roughing the passer. And
that was Tracy Walker, right? Was it Tracy Walker?
Yeah. And the thing is, I ain't going to front y'all. I'm becoming better at this because I'm having to step out of my fandom into a professional. But I can't front. When I sat there and I watched that in Ford Field, I was just like,
yeah. This is not. Yeah, that's typical.
I would have threw a challenge flag immediately.
Was it reviewable? Probably not. It is now.
It is now. I mean, some of this stuff, when I see these players get hit, some of them is like, okay, yeah, man, you tried to take that guy's head off. That is that is definitely roughing the passer. It was well after the play, and you tried to end him. Some of this stuff is just like, dude, what are we watching here? Let's just go to the fan controlled league or something. Maybe two-hand touch or flag football. If you're a defender, how in the hell do you tackle somebody now? I don't get it.
Gently.
Yeah,
and you lay them nicely on the ground.
Ryan has a great recommendation. Just put flags around their waists. You know,
Yeah,
you can only
flag
grab the
football,
flags.
That's what we're getting to. It's like, you know, make him a nice bed, give him a Tempur-Pedic pillow.
The passing game really matters. It does. Yeah.
There's a great YouTube comment that said, "Imagine if Urlacher was still in the league." Like, or imagine if Sue would have stepped on Rodgers like he did. I mean, he'd be gone indefinitely forever.
Come on, he couldn't feel his feet. We've all been there. It's interesting though, because there are players you watch. Jonathan Abrams, who was drafted pretty early by the Raiders. I'm going to get the city right today because yesterday I did not. The Las Vegas Raiders, and he was one of those guys where you knew going in that he is a personal foul machine, and he will not play 16, 17 games now for you because he will be ejected multiple times. He will face fines. He is your throwback. If somebody's running into my vicinity, it's my job to remove said player's head.
Dan Campbell, he bites kneecaps. Grab him.
He bites skulls. And it's, so there are guys where you think, yeah, his play style is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
In the NFL.
A few more of those rule changes I want to get into is 3 more. Changes in the hiring timeline. Again, everybody, I'm reading these verbatim. This rule change will require teams hiring for new positions, head coach, general manager, to wait until after the conference championship week to begin interviews for vacancies and until after the Super Bowl to announce hirings. Apparently, a couple more things. I guess the thought process behind this is that it would give more opportunities to interview minority coaches who are coaching their teams in the playoffs. Like, one big thing was Todd Bowles and Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, kind of levels the playing field for everybody.
Yeah. So, because I mean,
there are ways around that. Sorry,
there are ways around everything.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to find a loophole on something. So, there's that one. There's also an overtime change. There are 2 overtime changes on the table. The first would bring sudden death rules back to the NFL overtimes. If implemented, first team that scores wins the game.
Wow, interesting. So the coin toss is important again.
Yeah. And I would be very interested. The second one is, according to this article, a little bit more unconventional. And it was brought in by the Baltimore. Hold on. What you got, Art?
Someone made a great point on YouTube. D-Town says, what's crazy is NFL Film sells the big hits. Like, that's part of the game, but at the same time calls them illegal. That's probably one of the best points ever because, like, when I watch football, I want those big hits. I want the athletes like Sue to come across a boom.
Yeah.
And now it's like, do you have to fill a consent form out before you hit the quarterback? Like, where are we going here?
Here's my whole thing about this. Protecting the athlete moving forward. I'm going to be honest, it's garbage. Here's why I say it's garbage. Art. What are you known for covering?
What am I known for covering? MMA.
Okay. MMA, boxing, hockey to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
You know when you sign up for that sport, it's a physical sport. You know it is violent.
But what is the big difference between, I mean, obviously there's a huge difference between taking a quarterback out for games and games and games as opposed to getting a good tackle in. I mean, it seems like that's such a thin line to where it's like if you're a good, if you're doing a blitz and you hit that quarterback good, you shouldn't be penalized for it as long as it's not flagrant.
You're signing up for a violent sport. No, granted, we love seeing touchdowns. We love seeing, all the glitz and the glamour and everything like that, but you watch football for the contact.
Yeah.
You watch it for the contact. You watch it for the competitiveness. They are stripping it. They're stripping it to me.
Well, I mean, it's true. There's an element of that, but we've talked about it, and we will continue to. That's why quarterbacks and wide receivers and the passing game is so important, is because that's where the entire thing is. The entire thing is all about how the NFL is making it so teams can throw the ball all over the place. All the rules, the holding downfield and the personal fouls. Fish, what's happening?
So I think the main reason why the NFL is doing this is because of back in the olden days, people would make big hits. Now those players are suing the NFL.
Back in the olden days, you mean like 1997 or something?
Yeah, like 90s and 2000s, they were making big hits,
Even
and
the
now
2000s.
they're getting sued. So now the NFL's like, oh, we got to turn it back because we don't want to get a lawsuit.
I think honestly,
that's fair.
I think it's a big reaction. Okay, first of all, I think the NFL was making strides to protect the players already.
Which ones?
The
quarterbacks?
Quarterbacks. They're already making those strides, but I think what really kicked everything into gear was the concussion film. When that dropped, everything just went over the top, overkill, over too many rule changes.
Yeah, and some of the shocking, like the Junior Seau suicide and some of the other stuff is just like,
Didn't he? Correct me if I'm wrong. When he committed suicide, didn't he say that he, in his note that he talked about, he wanted his brain donated for science?
Yes.
Here's one of the greatest points that we're getting on both on Twitter and YouTube. What is the point of a backup quarterback? Like, what is the point of a backup quarterback if you've got one that you have to protect like it's gold and no one can touch him? It makes no sense.
The point is that you want, when your quarterback gets hurt, you want him to perform at a high level so then you can trade him.
Yeah.
That's it. There's really that's it. They're not developing quarterbacks like they used to at all.
No.
I mean, back when I was a young man, back in, before the big war, quarterbacks sat for a long time before they started. They just did. It wasn't like draft a guy and sit him for a year, which is even now a bit of an anomaly. It was you sat for years before you played.
I mean,
they developed them.
Aaron freaking Rodgers sat for 3 seasons and he didn't start to his 4th.
I mean, even that's long for a player to be drafted in the first round and not play. So it's a very different game than it used to be, and we just have to embrace it. I mean, the NFL loves. The worst thing for the NFL is to look at a situation where you have a superstar like Russell Wilson or Patrick Mahomes, where they get injured in a situation where they don't need to be. Like Dak Prescott last year was injured running the ball, and it's unavoidable. Things like that happen. But if you mandate to defenders that you can hit the quarterback from, say, the mid-chest to above his knees, and you must hit a quarterback there if he's still in the pocket, you're controlling those lower body injuries. You're controlling the hits to the head kind of thing.
But what if you're a guy like a Tracy Walker and you hit a quarterback perfectly and you still get fined?
Now
you still get the roughing the passer.
You have a review now.
We got a review now.
So that's why I like it, because it takes away some of that sort of silly ridiculousness. We'll see that get fixed.
Well, we have one more rule change to get into regarding the overtime, and then another one regarding the onside kick. And after we get into that, we're going to talk about some opening day, and I'll just be back in one moment.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand.
Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back. This is the Woodward Sports Network, and this is the Baligian and Bell Show. Kory Woods here with Scott Bischoff. We're going to go ahead and wrap up this NFL talk because we got to get into some opening day stuff, but a couple more changes at this league annual meeting. This one is sent in by the Ravens. It's called, dubbed the spot and choose rule. Interesting. One team picks the spot of the ball to start the overtime period, and the other team picks whether to play offense or defense. So let's give you guys an example. If the Lions were to pick on their own 20-yard line, and the Packers would then pick if they wanted to play offense or defense from the Tampa 20-yard line, or if the Lions wanted to play offense and the Lions wanted to play offense and play from their own 20-yard line.
So that's different than the one we just said, where it was sudden death.
Yeah. So it's two of them.
Okay. So they're okay.
They're both of them. Both of them are on the table.
Okay.
That one is I don't know how I feel about that spot and choose rule.
Yeah, I'd have to read a little more about that.
Read a little more about that one. That was that's an interesting one right there. And then here's the last one. This one is called the onside kick alternative. This rule apparently this has been on the docket for a couple of years now. With this rule, teams will have the option to convert a play from 4th and 15 instead of trying an onside kick.
Okay, that's different.
I'm not going to front. That would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would like it or love it, but it'll be interesting to see.
It's definitely different. I mean, it would be. I
will say it sounds very, not the second edition of it, but it sounds very XFL-ish.
Yeah, it feels like there's a push to make games closer.
Yeah.
Maybe for ratings. I don't know.
I have no idea, but those are all of the league changes that were on the docket for the NFL's annual league meetings. But enough about football. Tomorrow, April 1st, is not only April Fool's Day, in Michigan, in the Metro Detroit, opening day for baseball. You gonna be heading downtown?
No.
He said
no. No, there's only a few people that can get down there.
Yeah,
right?
apparently
I'm not one of them.
Yeah, apparently Mayor Mike Dugan said if you don't have a ticket, they don't want you down there. I don't know how in the world they plan to police that, because I don't have a ticket for the game. I'm going to be down there. And after I'm done working, I am going to partake in some adult beverages.
Good for you.
Yeah, nobody here has ever seen me partake, and that tomorrow's going to be a first for you guys.
Are you guys all hanging out down there together?
We're supposed to be working together, whether everybody hangs out together or
working.
So when you're partaking, it is just an alcoholic beverages, not the cannabis kind, correct?
Oh, wait. Hey, hold on.
Art.
We got
Artemis, what are you talking about?
First off, Kory doesn't turn anything down but his collar.
Good to know. Good to know. Hey,
good to know.
Will you take me to lunch when we're done?
I set myself up for that one.
I might have some treats for you tomorrow.
Ooh,
oh boy,
Lord! Just don't.
Somebody record it.
Somebody record it.
We've already heard that we're gonna have breaking news. Yesterday was that Maz might be partaking in the edibles. So
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Look, that might be the thing that will keep me from hanging out with you guys tomorrow.
Where are you guys gonna be tomorrow? Because I will now be there.
You gotta get that on tape.
We're gonna be at the Brass Whale Pizza Bar.
All right.
Brass Rail Pizza Bar starting first thing in the morning.
If Maz is going to be there doing those kind of things.
He had mentioned it.
I do.
Not
I would
only
like
that,
to see that.
But he mentioned he's going to be taking it during the show.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, wait.
Game changer.
Yeah.
We got the flag. I can't find it. We got to throw a flag on the play because I'm about to snitch on myself again.
Uh-oh.
You ever I want you to find this, you know what? Don't find the clip art. Find the picture of Shawn Michaels kicking Shelton Benjamin.
Are you in the background somewhere?
No, I'm just saying that's what's going to happen to Maz if he decides to take an edible during the show. He's going to be Shelton. The edible is going to be Shawn Michaels, and Maz is going to be Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah,
that is exactly what's going to happen.
It will likely not go well.
Do not recommend taking an edible at work. It does not.
That does not seem to be a good combination.
It does not end well.
The only thing that we have is a blurred image of a man flying through the sky from the kick.
Oh, see, thing is, WWE was going to take that off and it was going to snatch the whole show down.
Yeah.
So we can't show the clip.
Here's the thing, though. Maz has never ingested cannabis at all.
Okay, then he can't. No,
Yeah,
no,
he has
to. You have to veto that.
No, let him have fun.
No.
You'll have
That cannot
D-Mac
be.
around.
No,
You'll have me around
no.
to keep him safe.
That cannot be your first
He is
experience.
a big boy.
He's a big boy. And
He's a grown-ass man.
It'll
He
be
can
5
figure it out.
milligrams. 5 milligrams.
5 milligrams can. If you
What does that
never
even mean?
ingested that, 5 milligrams can knock him out for the rest of the day.
That'd be a good thing for all of us.
Scott, there's different type of edibles.
Yes.
So that's what he's referring to. There's like 200 milligrams and 500. So he's
200?
He's gonna take the lightest one so he doesn't die during the show.
I think he'll be fine with 5 milligrams.
He's going to be rocking the Pink Floyd in his phone, and he is going to be having the time of his life. Good for him.
You find the 5 milligram one.
Cut it in half.
You can cut it in
cut
half,
that in
and
half.
that's it. Cut it in
Come
half.
on.
And no, 5 milligram, cut that in half, and then give it to him. Wait about an hour and a half.
No, the show's almost over by then.
That's good because that way he can still probably at least make it home.
Listen, I'll give him a ride home. Here's the other thing, is that what are we going to do? Have him open up the container and smell it, but not smell it too much? He might ingest it. Like, come on. He's a big boy. Like Scott said, he'll be fine.
He will be fine. You just have to, you have to manage it. You have to manage him. And if you're signing up for it, cool.
Yeah.
I think it'd be highly entertaining.
Highly entertaining.
Oh, God. You a big baseball fan?
Yeah.
What are you expecting from the Tigers this season?
I don't know. In the end, I hope steps of improvement, like multiple steps in the right direction.
Yeah.
I don't think it's super realistic to think it'll be more than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've just really. I follow the game. I'm what you would classify as a casual baseball fan. If you're asking me about abbreviations of stats and stuff like that, I know it, but actually trying to talk about and articulate the game, I could talk enough. Not great, but the one thing I'm looking for, just as the casual fan from the Tigers, is that Old English D to me still means something. So I'm hoping that with AJ Hinch in as the new manager, he's able to bring them back to a respectable franchise. Yeah. That's trying to go for the gusto of World Series would be nice because they did go from worst to the whole thing that year under Jim Leland. But what I'm expecting is just them to bring it back to a respectable franchise. I don't know what we're going to get from Miggy this year. He's not Miggy. He's not going to be Miggy of old. He's old Miggy.
Isn't he in the best shape of his life, though? I read that somewhere.
Hopefully that does mean something. Whatever.
In the end, it would be really nice to see some of the younger players emerge.
Yeah.
To become players that you think are pieces that you can build on going forward, right? It's sort of like code for let's get it going back in the right direction, but that's kind of where they are.
Yeah, I'm reading right here. They have some of the top prospects in baseball. They got Spencer Torkelson, Casey Mize, Riley Green, Tariq Skubal, Matt Manning. I've looked at some stuff about Torkelson. That guy
he hits bombs, dingers.
Chicks dig the long ball.
Yep.
And I believe he's going to be really great. Casey Mize? I've heard a lot of people are excited about him. I've seen some things, but I can't really articulate. What makes Casey Mize this guy that everybody's just fawning over?
His arm, just the ability to ascend to be your number one starter. That's what you hope for, right? That's really with Mize. That's what you hope for.
Yeah,
he's young. I mean, it's we'll see.
Look at that guy.
Yeah,
man, he looks like he throws a mean ball.
Yeah,
he looks focused. As you guys know, tomorrow's opening day. It's going to be a different opening day. It's not going to be the tailgates are going to be shut down. Tiger Stadium is only going to have about 8,000 fans, and it's really kind of killing all of these regulations are killing my opening day traditions. Just so you know, I've been a photographer since 2009, and I've done probably the past 4 or 5 opening days. I just go downtown with my camera and I just take pictures of the whole scenery, the tailgates, drinking with the fans.
Yeah.
Capturing the scenery. It's really in Detroit. It's such a holiday where all races, all backgrounds, everybody just mingling and having fun, and we're not going to have that tomorrow. And that really kills my opening day tradition of going around with my camera.
You know what is nice though, and that sucks that's diminished to the point where you can't partake in that kind of stuff. But the fact that it's happening, and even if there, what did you say, 8,000 fans there? The fact that there's going to be some fans there, and it's nostalgic. It's baseball season. It's summer, spring's here. Summer will be here before we know it. That is still happening.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the nostalgia of what opening day is still present. Obviously very different, but it's still there.
Did you before COVID happened, did you have any opening day traditions?
No, I mean, not really. I would just watch with my kids and just kind of, I mean, I didn't really go down to, the stadium or anything. I mean, I have friends who did all the time. Mm-hmm. It just was, it's baseball season. It's just, there's a purity in that. There's a beauty in it. It's nostalgic.
Yeah, a couple of my friends, they had some crazy traditions. Like one tradition they had, well, I can't even say she's a friend anymore, but I'll still take her tradition. But anyway, I just remembered it, but whatever.
Is there a story there?
Huh?
Is there a backstory that we need to know about?
Oh, let's just say, you just got at some point you outgrow people, and I outgrew it.
All right,
I'll leave it at that.
Okay,
but her tradition was it was around her birthday every time. Opening day is usually around her birthday. So what she would do is she would find herself at the game, but in the event she couldn't get a ticket, she would always have a hotel suite, and she would have a set out for all of her friends, and they would watch the game. So she would make sure that their hotel is like somewhere near the stadium so they can hear all the roars and all that good stuff. But my opening day tradition outside of the whole going down doing photography is one of my fraternity brothers is an event promoter. So Mixed Bricktown next to the Detroiter bar, they would have an opening day party there. Matter of fact, I need to see if he's doing something, because if he is, I'm going to slide in there after the show. But they would have an opening day party, and then the whole
take Maz with you.
Oh man, hey, Maz partying with some frat guys after having an edible, that might honestly give him the time of his life.
You guys are going to be on the news.
Oh, yeah. I don't think Maz going to be on the news for what will go down with us. But I'm going to get into my opening. I'm going to get into that opening day tradition, my other one, in just one moment. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
Yo, back. We're back. We're in the home stretch of this. This is the Baligian and Bell show on the Woodward Sports Network. Kory Woods here with Scott Bischoff. We got Art in producer cam, and we got Fish in the fishbowl. I talked about my tradition already with the camera. Then I said I'll go ahead and go to Mixed Bricktown, go drink with my fraternity brothers. Always a good time because everybody is always just working. No, those guys, I'm probably out the whole group. I hate to say this, I'm the one who don't make as much money.
Do you see those guys just like once a year at this point? Is that about it?
Some of them I only see once a year because a lot of them, they're high-level executives in like Ford or GMC or stuff like that. So maybe not once a year, but it's still, you can count on one hand how many times you see those guys a year.
So
when we know we're going to opening day, I can look forward to linking up with them and just, hey, what's been going on?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. And, hopefully we're still going to be able to do that tomorrow. But enough about me. Art, do you partake in any of the opening day traditions?
I've never had the opportunity to. This will be my first year, and I hear that it's kind of like a rough draft compared to what opening day usually is.
Rough draft.
Yeah, so,
rough being the operative word.
Me partaking tomorrow will be, helping out with the Baligian and Bell show, obviously. And then afterwards, just,
mingling with the people. I'm not a drinker, so it's not a big thing. I might consume, a little, maybe I'll split an edible with Maz,
Y'all didn't see that. Oh, that'll be great. Fish. Gotta go to the fish bowl. Do you have any opening day traditions?
Normally just watch the Tigers game. That's about it.
Yeah. Not this year, buddy.
Well, I know I'm gonna be doing. Well, the game will be on in a sports bar, but I'll be doing some shows.
You're not gonna be watching the game.
No, Fish. We're about to get you out your shell tomorrow. Just go ahead, get some good walking shoes or get comfortable shoes.
Make sure you stretch in the morning.
Yeah, stretch. Yeah, because tomorrow's gonna be a long day for you, buddy.
I heard that the rumor mill is that they're actually going to be charging like fees to take pictures with Fish.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, he is the star of the network. Let's be real.
We know this. Yes, you are.
mean,
he knows it, though.
I'm going to be honest. If I was Fish, I'd charge. Matter of fact, I have an idea. Fish needs to be on Cameo.
Yes.
Oh, man, that's a great idea.
Fish needs to be on Cameo. Can you imagine the amount of money people would pay for Fish on Cameo? I think, you know what?
I think that's a great idea.
If Sister Jean can get $150, I think Fish can at least get $175.
I think you should give it a whirl.
Fish, here's what I need you to do now.
Maybe donate it to charity. It'd be a great thing.
Do a cameo in which you are wishing Scott a happy birthday right now. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Scott. It's your birthday. You're a great guy. I know you do some good draft stuff with the football and you got some good hockey information as well. So have yourself a great birthday and treat yourself today.
That's what's $50.
Holy Lord.
That's worth $50.
Come on, Fish. You're too modest.
He's a red light performer.
We're not having Fish set up an OnlyFans. This is a cameo.
Wow. And Fish, here's the thing about the cameo. You do not have to. You're a good guy. And you're a good guy, Fish, and you have a good heart. You don't have to pocket the money. You can donate it to charity, whatever cause you want. Heck, I say you take the money and you pocket it for your New Zealand fund.
That someone already said that's a $1,000 cameo right there. And D-Mac does cameo so he could work with Fish to build one.
I'm telling you that.
I feel like I owe him money right now.
Here's the thing.
I really do.
Here's the most beautiful thing about that. He did that in one take.
One take.
One take.
No stutter, no hesitation, off the dome.
Unbelievable.
Fish, man,
great.
You're a star.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Are you going to set up a cameo?
I'll think about it.
Okay.
Yes. Hey, you know what? I'll think about it because, Fish is normally a hard yes or a hard no.
With Tinder, it was a hard no.
Well, you know what?
Because
you know why? Fish is not I'm just analyzing from afar, well, from a close right now. Fish does not look like a swipe left, swipe right kind of guy.
No, he's too nice.
Too nice. But that right there, that is right up his alley, his personality.
Hey, Fish, congratulate Kory on being so great. Here's his cameo. Go.
Kory, I heard you got inducted into the Pro Football Writers Association. That's very good news for you. And I hope to see your work with the Lions and the Pistons and photography and whatever you do. So good luck. Have a great day. We're going to make life great again.
Wow.
Holy Lord.
Wow.
How do you feel after that? Don't you feel great?
I feel like I can run through an effing wall.
Fish,
come on.
That's gold, buddy.
That was on YouTube that said that? Because that is a $1,000 cameo right there.
Well, people are saying, like, subscribed, I'm in, I'll take one. Like, Fish, you already have an audience, my friend.
Hey, we struck some gold right there. I'm with it.
Joique Bell's cameos are like $5. Fish's would be like 50.
$5.
Hold on, wait a minute. Time out. They let Joique Bell on cameo?
No, I was just making that up.
Oh,
yeah. They got a thing.
Woo. Wait. We got some NFL breaking news. The Seattle Seahawks are signing Tyler Lockett to a 4-year, $69 million extension with $37 million guaranteed.
That seems like stealing if you're the Seahawks. He is a really good receiver. He really is. So you've got DK Metcalf and Lockett locked up.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, last season, Tyler Lockett, and he played all 16 games, 1,054 yards, 10 TDs, and that was 100 receptions. I mean,
very, very good receiver.
Yeah, very good. Small guy. Looks like kind of almost has a Devonta Smith type frame, maybe, or a little bit bigger. He's 5'10", 180. They got him.
Yeah, I think he's more built like Waddle.
Yeah,
but he's nowhere.
Waddle.
He's twitchy and laterally quick. Like he gets open very quick.
Okay.
I don't think he doesn't have the vertical speed that Waddle does, but he's a very reliable, very solid receiver. Very good receiver.
I mean, they need to keep Russell Wilson happy, so I'm pretty sure that bringing back Lockett on that deal, keeping him for a couple more years.
Yeah, I mean, that's an offense that really doesn't throw the ball all that much. I mean, they do at times, but they're a run-heavy, play-action type offense where you could see if they really wanted to unleash Russell Wilson, Lockett could go off. He could.
Yeah, so I want to go back to mock drafts. We like doing mock drafts on the show. Yesterday we went over the Baligian and Bell mock draft, and a lot of names omitted from that one that we felt.
There were a few.
There were definitely a few. But I want to go on to the NFL.com. Cynthia Freeland, she released her NFL mock draft 2.0, and we already know who's number one.
Zach Wilson? Kidding.
Yeah, we know who's number one. But
yes.
Second, shocked me. Who do you think she has going to the Jets?
Justin Fields. I don't know. Quarterback. Maybe Penny Sewell. Possibly, if they're keeping Sam Darnold.
Interesting you say that. It is a lineman not named Penny Sewell.
Really? Rashawn Slater?
Rashawn Slater going number 2.
Okay.
I thought that was interesting.
It is interesting because that's more he will play right tackle for them. They took Mekhi Becton last year. And so from that regard, yeah, that fits. It's just at 2. Whew.
And I'm just going to run through her picks real quick. So she has Rashawn Slater at 2 going to the Jets. Number 3, she has Zach Wilson going to the 49ers.
Perfect fit.
Kwity Paye going to the Falcons at 4.
Wow.
That one was just like,
wow. They do need defensive players. They really do.
Well, woo, 4?
Who else?
Yeah. 5, she has Penei Sewell going to the Bengals. 6, Kyle Pitts to the Dolphins. 7, Jamar Chase to the Lions. 8, Trey Lance to the Panthers. And you talked about quarterback. 9, Justin Fields to the Broncos. And the consensus number 10 pick
Patrick Surtain
to the Broncos.
Yeah.
Patrick Surtain.
Yeah. Oh, to Dallas, right?
Yeah, to Dallas.
Yeah. That's I mean, it sounds like that's out there a touch, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. If you look at Mekhi Becton and his ability to play left tackle, if they're into the concept that they want to keep Sam Darnold and give him every opportunity to work, you need to protect him. They've given him some weapons. They've added Corey Davis. They have another pick in the mid. I'm going to say they have the 23rd pick, so you could take receiver in that area.
Yeah. Jets have 23rd pick.
Yeah, they have Denzel Mims. They drafted him last year, so they do. They have a couple tight ends, so you could see where if they're sold that they need to give Darnold more time, that pick does make sense. It's not like one of those where you would say, that's great value. But for where they are as a franchise, if they want to keep Darnold, that does make sense.
I will say, just skimming through her 32-team draft for the first round, her 15 through 17 were really interesting. For 15 for New England Patriots, she has Jalen Waddle.
I've seen that a couple times.
16, a guy that you're high on, J.C. Horn going to the Cardinals.
Yep.
And 17 to the Las Vegas Raiders. Such a Raider pick. Micah Parsons.
Yeah, that's a Raiders pick.
That is.
Yeah.
If there is ever a guy, especially with his off-the-field history, that is a Las Vegas Raider, it's Micah Parsons.
Yep, that's a reasonable place for him. Yeah. Yeah, interesting.
The other one that really, I'm just again skimming through, the one we were talking about, the Jets, of the 23rd. I haven't done too much homework on this guy, but she has Caleb Farley, Virginia Tech cornerback, going to the Jets at 23.
So Farley, I think, would have been in the discussion to be cornerback 1 in this class. He opted out. Virginia Tech has had a little back surgery.
Okay.
So some of the workout stuff is not going to happen, but that really pushes him down. You know, when we're talking premium picks, first-round picks, it's tough to grab a guy who's got an injury history like he has, but very talented, big, physical, can run, all those things. It's just, is somebody going to take a chance on him? He has all the talent to be in the discussion with Patrick Surtain to go at 10 overall. He does. It's just he won't, just because of the injury history at this point.
Yeah, man, I'm just looking at now. I gotta go ahead and go do my mock draft again now. I did my 1.0. It's time for the 2.0 now. The draft is really around the corner. Time for me to start getting to it.
I started to do the whole 2.0 thing. It's all silliness, but I started to the morning of the Zach Wilson workout, and I got through a few of them, and then the trades happened, and it was like, I'm really glad I didn't start that, because it would have just been like wasting time.
Right.
You know, and that's kind of how it feels anyway. It's just
the one thing I noticed that was missing from her from her mock draft in the first round was something that I actually feel is not that big of a reach. He's already projected there, but did you hear any? Is there a name that you noticed missing from the top 10 that he kind of shot up? She doesn't have Mac Jones going in the first round.
Really?
No.
Interesting.
And we did have that clip. I don't know if Art still has it queued up that we showed earlier in the morning show of Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels. They were at the Mac Jones Pro Day, and they kind of shot each other a look when he had that over. I don't know whether they just chopped it up to make it look like they looked at each other right after the overthrow. From
it looked
Jones,
a little like, no.
Like, that ain't my guy.
So it's interesting. We're seeing this, and you can see the pro day wasn't like the other ones.
Yeah.
The way the other ones looked, and then you have it being reported that he's going 3rd overall, and he's going to be a very polarizing player. It's going to be polarizing as this evolves.
I don't think that he's going to. Well, here we go right here. Run that back. You gotta love Bill. Just yeah.
McDaniels could have been asking him, "Hey, how was that chicken you had last night?" It was
You never know. All we could do is just go ahead and just read it from here. But we're right here at the finish line. It's filling in with you has been great. Filling in for the Baligian and Bell show has been pretty awesome. I don't want to give Sean his seat back, but I'm pretty sure that when he gets back to this seat, tomorrow we're going to be down at the Brett. For anybody who did not know, tomorrow Woodward Sports is going to be downtown at the Brass Rail Pizza Bar, and we're going to be there doing all of our shows all afternoon long. Make sure you come in, say something to us, stop by. You can't promise you'll get one, but you might even get I almost tongue-tied that one. You might get a Woodward Sports opening day T-shirt. You saw Adam wear it to start the beginning of the show. We're all going to be in them, and you might be able to get one too.
Size large.
Yeah. they better have my XL back there, or it's about to be some furniture moving. So that's all I got to say about that one. But Scott, thanks again for filling in. I'm going to be leaning on you over the next couple of days, just DMing or texting you, asking you some questions about what do you think about this player, or I have a question about this. I need help breaking this down. And once again, you've been great. Art on producer Cam, you've been awesome. Fish, to steal Fish's line, you're the best. And so are you guys out there. So you guys out there on YouTube and Facebook, thank you for tuning in. This is the Baligian and Bell Show on Woodward Sports Network. Have a good afternoon and see you guys tomorrow downtown Detroit. Opening day.